So at the top of this whole slideshow, I told you that there were three things that I wanted you to get out of it. The first thing you'll remember are what these terms actually mean. So let's recap really quickly. Your primary discourse is the language that you use in your growing up community, first with your family and then later with your friends in the community where you grew up. You really acquire this rather than learn it because you soak it up since you're a member of that particular community. You automatically belong to the community and your primary discourse automatically belongs to you. By contrast, secondary discourse communities are made up of specialized groups that use language in specialized ways that may or may not resemble the way you speak and use language in your primary discourse community. As a result, you want to belong to this group. It doesn't happen automatically. And the only way to get to belong is to learn, to observe how others who are more experienced members in this community are using language so that you can emulate it yourself. Bottom line, though, in both of these kinds of discourse communities, what you want to do is to be able to demonstrate communicative competence because that will show that you belong and will also give you this inner sense of belonging. And you will know then at that point that you have taken on a new linguistic identity, the identity that connects with speaking particular forms of a language. So, in a nutshell, that brings us back to the title of the module. Literally, what you say and how you say it has an impact on who you are and who you can be beyond your primary discourse community. So, hopefully, now you have a recap on what those terms mean. The next thing I wanted you to do was to understand why they are important for you as your students and for you as a teacher. And what I said to you earlier in the slideshow was that I want you to understand these concepts in your bones because they are this powerful lens that will help give you insight into who your students as human beings are first and as students second. These are a couple of my students from when I was a young high school teacher in Oklahoma, Nick and Aaron, and you can tell how clearly invested they were in our secondary discourse community. They were both real characters. But here's the deal. As this picture reminds me, when I was a high school teacher, it didn't take me long to figure out that the key to my success with students like Nick and Aaron was asking them some version of that question, where y'all from? In other words, if I paid attention to how they used language in their everyday lives, I would understand more about what mattered to them, about what they valued in their lives, and how those things contributed to who they really were as people. And ultimately, that was what helped me do my job well. Once I figured out and showed them I was interested in where y'all from, that helped me support them better in becoming writers and readers and thinkers. So, the third thing on that list, remember that? How can knowing these terms help you get an A in this class? As I said, they build that foundation for success because we'll be talking about the concepts all semester long, but also they connect to every book, activity, every assignment this semester, including this first one, which is your linguistics, identities, concept map. This is what Darren Krovitz and Michelle Devereaux would call a tool for metalinguistic awareness because it's going to help you explore the concepts that we've covered in this slideshow and think about what the relationships are among them in your own life so you'll be able to actually apply them. You're going to talk about how you have demonstrated communicative competence in your primary discourse community and in two secondary discourse communities inside school and outside school. And you'll wind up spending some time thinking about the linguistics identities that you have learned and acquired. Then you're going to share them with each other, your maps on an online forum, and talk to one another about them. Ultimately, this task is going to help us build a secondary discourse community in E322 at the same time. So I can't wait to hear where y'all from and for you to learn it from one another.